Hello friends, today's topic is esophageal web. You can see the gross image and this is the barium swallow. We will be discussing the image in depth after some time, but let's see first its theory part. What is esophageal web? It is a thin membrane. It's a thin membrane occurring anywhere along the esophagus. So it can occur in the upper one third, middle one third or lower one third. What is the most common location of the esophageal web? Most common location is the post-cricoid region, which is upper esophagus. What does it consist of? What is the histopathology? If you take a section, what you will see? You will be seeing mucosa and submucosa of the esophagus. So it consists of only two layers. There are two types of esophageal web, congenital and acquired. Among that, acquired is more common. Congenital occurs in the middle and the lower one third, and acquired occurs in the upper one third. It is associated with the very important syndrome, which is Plummer-Vinson syndrome. You must have heard of it many times. There are lots of MCQs related to this syndrome, and they usually ask about this triad, which consists of esophageal web, dysphagia and iron deficiency anemia. So Plummer-Wilson leads to web leads to dysphagia leads to IDA. 1 in 10 patient of Plummer-Vinson syndrome leads to esophageal cancer. So it's a risk factor for esophageal cancer, and most common histopathological type is squamous cell carcinoma. It is more common in the white people compared to black, and more common in women compared to men. Its diagnosis is done by barium swallow, which we will be discussing soon in the coming slides. And its treatment of choice is endoscopic dilatation. So this is esophagus, which has a constriction in the form of the web, and you will be dilating the same with the help of the balloon. So treatment of choice is esophageal balloon dilatation. So this is all about theory of esophageal web. Now we will be seeing its image based questions. This is the web, which you can appreciate here. It is concentric shape, not the complete one. This is the web, and this will be causing obstruction to the food passage. That's why most common symptom will be dysphagia. Most common clinical feature will be dysphagia, difficulty in swallowing. This is the barium swallow image. You can see there is a filling defect. There is a smooth filling defect in the upper esophagus, post-cricoid region. So this constriction is due to esophageal web, and there will be proximal dilatation because of the dysphagia. Another image in which you can see complete esophageal web, which is leading to buttonhole deformity. This is the complete esophageal web, which is consisting of mucosa and submucosa layer. Leading to buttonhole deformity means only central part is left as a patent lumen, known as buttonhole deformity. This buttonhole deformity will lead to jet phenomena. When contrast will be passing from it, it will lead to formation of a jet image just below the web. So jet phenomena is seen in the esophageal web. And this web can rupture during the endoscopy. This is very important complication. Image, barium swallow image of complete esophageal web. You can see proximal dilatation. There is a constriction or narrowing in the second image, lateral image, there is a obstruction due to esophageal web leading to obstructive symptoms, dysphagia, aspiration, etc. So this is all about esophageal web, MCQ based approach, image based approach, and all the other clinical relevant information. Thank you all for the listening.